Ladies and gentlemen of our worldwide audience, we welcome you to Tampa, Florida for the RWL Snarl and Rage combined Memorial Day special. My name is Don Hickson, and joining me will be Hangman Tex Lynch, General Manager of RWL Snarl.
Dandy Don, I've been waiting for this for all weeks now.
And justifiably so. It isn't just me and Tex, however. We're going to be expecting a number of visitors here in the booth during the course of the show.
And then everybody's in the building. Wally, Johnny, Christy, and Myron, and the whole gang. And we're here to take you through the next couple of hours of RWL Mad Action. And every single match is guaranteed to be a killer, folks.
With no exaggeration and no hyperbole, Tex. Every single match guaranteed to be a killer. All right, Tex, time to get the show on the road here. The Memorial Day special underway with our opening contest. The Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington, set to go one-on-one against Brenda Blair.
Oh, man, those two are definitely heated in.
Welcome, fans. Our opening match is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, she is the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington.
Don, seems there's a little bit of backstage drama as far as the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, and her boy Kurt Angle are concerned. It seems like Kurt Angle may very well have given the Yankee Rose her walking papers.
Well, Tex, if I've got to be brutally honest, and I do, Kurt Angle is not losing anything significant with Georgia Washington, who's more hyper-focused on her own career than being valet to Kurt Angle.
But I guess to be fair, Georgia Washington has not done too badly for herself. Well, she lost her last match to Dynamite Jeannie Parker. Anybody surprised by that? Well, I don't know. But tonight, it's Brenda Blair for possibly the third time around. And they split one win, one loss each. Let's see if we get us a tiebreaker here this evening.
Her opponent from San Jose, California, here's Brenda Blair.
The lovely, leather-clad Brenda Blair making her way down to the ring for this next encounter with the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, and certainly they do have a little bit of heat between them, Tex.
They sure do. Oh, man, but Brenda Blair is definitely the favorite in this matchup as far as the fans are concerned. You know me, I'm impartial when it comes to this, except for people who come from Texas. But Georgia Washington definitely going to have her hands full with Brenda Blair because Brenda Blair is not too keen on the Yankee Rose.
And that's going to make for sparks, and that's going to make for a top-notch opening contest on this Memorial Day special.
All right, well, Don, these two have met a couple of times in the past. They do not like each other very much, and this is not likely to improve their relationship. Great opening matchup, though. Walt Russburn rings the bell. Here we go. Brenda Blair opens up with a series of chops and kicks. Georgia Washington counters so fast I didn't even see it. Winds up the arm of Brenda Blair. Delivers an elbow to the back. Georgia Washington has her up. Nails Brenda Blair with a knee breaker. Georgia gathers her up again. A series of shots and a kick. Brenda catches the neck breaker from Georgia. And now Georgia Washington going for a quick pin right away. One. But just a one. 32 seconds in. That's a bit ambitious, ain't it, Don?
Most certainly is.
Brenda Blair making her way back to her feet. Georgia Washington with a disrespectful slap in the face to Brenda Blair. Brenda locks up Georgia. Sets it up. Look at this. Whoa, beautiful scoop slam from Brenda Blair. Doing a little bit of trash talking to Georgia Washington. The Yankee Rose catches a running kick to the head. Brenda Blair setting up something here. What the? Oh, man, it's a Windsor knot. I haven't seen this in a long time. You know what's going to happen, don't you?
It's the right in the keister for Georgia Washington.
Brenda Blair with an elbow across the head and a stomp to the face of the Yankee Rose. Georgia Washington catches a set of driving knees from Brenda Blair. Man, she is aggressive. Brenda rounds up Georgia again, not wasting any time. A kick to the face and down goes Georgia Washington. The Yankee Rose rolls out onto the floor, over the top, and whoa, a close. Did you see that, Doc?
I most certainly did. Wow.
Georgia Washington slams Brenda Blair's face down to the canvas. Oh, slams her face into the floor. That's just crazy. The Yankee Rose with a stomp to the arm of Brenda Blair. The referee is counting. Brenda rolled back inside the ring by the Yankee Rose, almost tripped up the referee. Through the middle ropes, Brenda Blair turns herself into a human missile and takes down the Yankee Rose. Georgia Washington makes her way back inside. Brenda Blair just telling her to bring it on, but oh boy, she sure is. Series of shots and a leg drop across the throat and a cover from Georgia Washington. One, but just a one. Brenda Blair still with way too much gas in the tank. There's a kick to the midsection from the Yankee Rose. Setting her, oh man, what a nasty stretch, bending her like a bow. The referee checking it, but Brenda Blair with a couple of shots to the side of the head of Georgia Washington breaks that one up. Hard right spins Georgia around. Brenda drops both knees into the back of the Yankee Rose and goes for a cover. One, two. Oh man, well, looks like this one might be a bit longer than we thought. Georgia takes her down with a running pounce. The Yankee Rose, oh man, she's mad. Brenda Blair makes her way back inside. They lock up. Brenda with a knee to the skull of the Yankee Rose. Follows it up with a low stomp and walks it off too. Right in the baby maker.
That was brutal.
Kick to the midsection and a throat chop from the Yankee Rose. They lock up again. Up over the shoulders goes Brenda Blair. But oh man, what a nasty slam. Brenda Blair certainly feeling that one. The Yankee Rose goes to work on the limbs of Brenda Blair, driving knees into her leg. Georgia Washington beating her head into the canvas. Brenda Blair on the receiving end of some business here. A clubbing overhand right. The Yankee Rose catches a shot to the midsection. Brenda with a series of chops gets shoved away. And there's that slap, and you know what that means.
Rocket's red glare, that's what that means.
Georgia goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and this one's all over. Georgia Washington defeats Brenda Blair by pinfall.
The time was for minutes and 32 seconds. And your winner, Georgia Washington.
And so the Yankee Rose goes up 2 wins to 1 over Brenda Blair with this pinfall victory. And Georgia Washington, when she tags you with that Rockets red glare, it's usually all over.
Which is a shame in that Brenda Blair put in a massively good effort right up until the point that Georgia Washington laid her out with that Rockets red glare finisher. And there it is, you see it right there on the replay. Slams Brenda Blair face first to the canvas, goes for the cover for the 3 count. Georgia Washington wins this one by pinfall.
We'll be back with a whole lot more. We are just getting started, so don't go away. We'll be right back after the break. Alright, as we continue our first title match of the evening, and yeah, we ain't wasting no time in getting that done. It's the RWL Mid-South Championship being defended by Billy White Moon against challenger Rick the Model Martel.
Boy, Tex, I sure wish we had Myron Schimmelman here to explain how this match came about.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is set for 1 fall with a 15-minute time limit, and it is for the RWL Mid-South Championship.
Boy, howdy, Tex, listen to that crowd. Very unwelcoming to Rick the Model Martel.
Yeah, well, evidently, it's going to be a Billy White Moon kind of crowd here in Tampa tonight. The Model the tag team partner of Tito Santana, the former Mid-South champion, who lost the title to Billy White Moon months ago. And now Rick Martel's back, and he's going to try and get a piece of that Mid-South title for himself. I don't know how well that's going to sit with his tag team partner, assuming he wins.
That's almost certainly going to make for an awkward situation between Rick Martel and Tito Santana, assuming he wins the Mid-South Championship.
That's a mighty big assumption, Don. I mean, Billy White Moon has been hotter than plutonium in the palm of your hand.
Nonetheless, it can't be ignored, Tex, the fact that Rick Martel is a capable wrestler inside that square circle. Look at this, spraying the arrogance cologne with that atomizer.
That's the kind my exterminator used to use those back when I was a kid. And here he comes now, representing Best of the West, the RWL Mid-South champion, Billy White Moon, accompanied by Tex McKenzie tonight. Jim Dandy Deacons must have the night off or something. But Billy White Moon, the Mid-South champ, as like I said, he's been really hot. Nobody's been able to take that Mid-South title from him. Maybe Rick Martel's got what it takes, but it's going to be a tough haul.
And as you point out, accompanied by Tex McKenzie. And you know, I absolutely love Tex McKenzie's enthusiasm.
Me too, the Lone Star Superstar. Always with a big smile on his face. Always in a great mood. Always ready to compete too. And Best of the West has certainly become very, very popular in the time that they've been together.
And that right there is what it's all about, the RWL Mid-South Championship.
Man, the tension in the building just went up just a little bit here, huh? Let's turn it over to ring announcer Ida Hawley for the introductions.
Introducing first the challenger from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing to 141 pounds, the model, Rick Martel. His opponent accompanied by Tex McKenzie from Norman, Oklahoma, weighing to 130 pounds. He's the RWL Mid-South champion, Billy White Moon.
Well, that's a pretty raucous response to use one of your $10 words, Dandy Don. And there's that awkward moment when the champ's got to turn over the belt to the referee and hope to God he gets it back at the end. Oh, man. Rick Martel eyeballing that Mid-South championship.
Well, that Mid-South title was taken from Tito Santana, and Rick Martel, his tag team partner, may be looking to avenge Tito Santana's loss by regaining the title himself.
And here we go. All right. They lock up. White Moon has Martel in the corner. They are clinched, and Willie Johnson's going to have to break him up. Oh, no clean break right there. Yeah, Rick Martel is definitely, he's got an agenda. Martel pushes White Moon into the opposing corner. And again, Willie Johnson's going to have to break him up. And again, another cheap shot from Rick Martel. That's not going to go over well with the fans. Got him up in the front cradle, but elbows to the side of the head from White Moon. They lock up again. They clinch again. There's going to be another cheap shot. I can almost guarantee it.
Almost certainly, Tex. Well, not this time. A clean break.
White Moon whips Martel to the far corner. He rebounds out right into a side suplex. Billy White Moon rounds up Martel. Misses. Catches a couple of kicks to the leg. The model catching a fireman's carry from White Moon. Billy White Moon escorts him to the far corner, head first into the buckle, and he's going to see that turnbuckle a whole bunch of times.
And catch quite a headache as well. And down goes Rick Martel.
White Moon in hot pursuit of Rick Martel, who seems to be a little bit frustrated at the moment. A couple of hard rights, and down goes the model. White Moon gathers him up again. Oh, man, countered, went to a bulldog. And Martel makes his way back inside the ring as the referee starts counting. Tex McKenzie checking up on Billy White Moon to see he's cool. Gets himself back inside the ring. White Moon goes behind, German suplex on Rick Martel. The model gathered up to his feet. He counters with a shoulder tackle. Takes White Moon down. White Moon counters. Oh, real beautiful running dropkick. Takes Rick Martel down again. Hard kick to the back. The Mid-South champ delivers a stomp to the arm. And drives the knee into the head of Rick Martel for good measure. I think he made Billy White Moon mad. I'm pretty sure he did. Up over the shoulders, and here we go. Boom! There's the driver, and there's the cover. 1, 2. Only a 2. Rick Martel going to make this harder than it needs to be. A gouge of the face. A double axe handle, and down goes Billy White Moon. White Moon gathered up. There's a clothesline that takes Martel down to the mat. Billy White Moon with the full support of the fans giving Rick Martel's conduct.
He hasn't been a very nice man, has he?
Drives a knee right into the head of Rick Martel, and he is busted open. Oh, man. A sweep of the leg, down goes White Moon. Rick Martel gathers him up again. White Moon says, "Oh, no, you don't." Billy White Moon with a double shot to the midsection. A series of shots that collapses Rick Martel like a tent in a high wind. Tries for the single leg crab, but too close to the ropes. Martel shoves him away, moves in. There's another double axe handle that takes Billy White Moon down. Martel rebounds off the ropes, running elbow to the chest to Billy White Moon. Oh, man. White Moon's got him up, takes him right back down. Here we go. Billy White Moon is stalking Rick Martel. The model. Caught in the Indian sleeper. Oh, this is bad. Sex McKenzie's loving it. Rick Martel's not. He is tapping out. That is it. Willie Johnson just rang the bell. And Billy White Moon retains the Mid-South Championship. Wow.
The time was for minutes and 57 seconds. Your winner and still Mid-South champion, Billy White Moon.
A short but explosive exchange takes between these two men, but Billy White Moon ends up prevailing and retaining the RWL Mid-South Championship from Rick Martel via submission.
Once he snaps on that Indian deathlock 8 out of 10 times, that's the end for you, man.
And he most certainly used it to his advantage tonight. Billy White Moon battered, bruised, and bleeding, but nonetheless, walking out of Tampa, Florida this evening, still the RWL Mid-South Champion with a submission win over Billy White Moon. And there's the replay. White Moon snaps on the Indian deathlock. The referee monitors Rick Martel and says that's enough. And that was it.
Yeah, that was it, all right. Billy White Moon retains the title, and we'll be right back with more of our Memorial Day special right after this. Don't go anywhere.
All right, fans, the Snarl and Rage Memorial Day special continues now with single action with the Gothic grappler Ethan Valek representing the Sectarians, facing Mad Dog Mark McKay, accompanied by Miss Morse X at ringside.
Our next match is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Amanda Robinson, and representing the Sectarians, from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, weighing to 110 pounds, the Gothic grappler, Ethan Valek.
Oh, and Dandy Don, look who's here. My esteemed colleague from RWL Snarl, my good friend Wally Cardell. Wally, how you doing tonight?
Oh, just fine. Mr. President, stay away from Dallas in November. I really wanted to see this match up close and personal as usual. It's the first match where Mad Dog McKay encounters the Sectarians, which seemed like kind of a big deal to me. We all know Valek and his underhanded methods, and I'm nosy to see how Mark McKay deals with him.
Yes, sir, Wally. Ethan Valek and underhanded go together like mashed potatoes and gravy.
And Mr. Valek, our resident cosplay vampire, had better watch out because Mad Dog Mark McKay is capable of a little bit of underhandedness all by himself.
On paper, these two are evenly matched, but I'm kind of leaning towards McKay picking up the win here. Yes, Valek's got a reputation, but Mad Dog McKay's been doing pretty well lately enough that I think he can pull out a win tonight.
And And his opponent, accompanied by Miss Morse X from Ithaca, New York, weighing 105 pounds, Mad Dog Mark McKay.
Well, Mad Dog Mark McKay certainly has become something of a mainstay on RWL Rage since making his first appearance several months ago with Miss Morse X by his side. And this, as we say, is his first encounter against Ethan Valek. And heaven only knows what's going to happen between these two.
Well, Wally, I'm all in for Mad Dog Mark McKay. He's just got one little problem. It's Amanda Robinson standing ringside for Ethan Valek. You know she's going to cheat, especially if it starts to look like Ethan Valek is losing the match.
And while Miss Morse X has yet to display any sort of propensity towards underhandedness on the behalf of Mad Dog Mark McKay, this is not to say she won't do it tonight, especially if she needs to compensate for Amanda Robinson standing at ringside.
Man alive, would you just listen to these fans in Tampa, most of whom sound like they too are squarely in the corner of Mad Dog McKay. Could be another case of Markomania breaking out here.
Markomania, yeah, I like that.
There is a first time for everything, including Mark McKay's first encounter with anyone representing the Sectarians. Should prove interesting, Tex.
Sure ought to. Here we go. Walt Rothburn rings the bell and off we go. They lock up. McKay gets a hold of Valek, drives a knee into his midsection. That dog Mark McKay follows up with a stomp. A kick to the chest to Ethan Valek. And another. Valek taking quite a beating in the early goings already. McKay snaps the leg. Valek being brought to his feet, sweeps the leg off McKay, takes him down, follows it up with a moonsault. Man, he is fast.
That is one of Valek's strongest suits, is speed.
And look at this right here. A wheelbarrow bulldog off the ropes. That's pretty impressive. McKay counters with an elbow to the leg. Valek whip to the far corner, catches a knee. McKay putting the boots to the throat of the Gothic grappler. Miss Morse X looking on. Mad Dog Mark McKay. Take a look at this. Amanda Robinson debating whether or not she's going to get involved here. Ethan Valek gets up to a standing position. And here we go. Flying punch. Takes Valek right down again. Mad Dog Mark McKay working the crowd here in Tampa. Oh, man. Ethan Valek being deprived of air by Mad Dog Mark McKay. And he's doing quite a bit of showing off here. Drives a knee into the head of Valek. Amanda Robinson got to be a little concerned about her fella, who has taken quite a pounding so far. Another knee to the skull from Mad Dog Mark McKay. Valek rolls on out to the floor. And here goes. Oh, man, McKay misses with the knee. Valek locks him up. Whoa! Takes him down hard, rolls out, and then follows it up with a drop kick to the head. Oh, man. Referee trying to get the boys back in there, but doesn't look like it's going to happen right away. Mad Dog Mark McKay starting to take a little punishment himself. Valek drives a knee into the arm of McKay. McKay rounded back up to his feet. Valek gets him back inside the ring. And here he comes. Whoa, quick jab, a chop, all right. Oh, man. McKay going all kinds of off, knocks him down, goes for the cover and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Oh, near fall, but not near enough. Oh, look at that. A candlestick magically found its way inside the ring. I wonder how that got there. Ethan Valek sets it up. He nails him with a Frankensteiner. McKay quickly back up on his feet, though. A Hurricane Rana from Valek. Valek rounds him up. Neck breaker. Ethan Valek trying to shift the momentum here. Slams down Mad Dog Mark McKay. Rallying him to get back up. Oh, now. A lot of bravado between these two. Basement DDT to the skull for Mad Dog Mark McKay. McKay responds with an elbow. Locks Valek up. Rolls him back inside the ring. Rolls himself back inside the ring. And here we go. Amanda Robinson already starting to fiddle with the turnbuckles. A drop kick. Drops Valek down. He's clutching that knee. Mad Dog Mark McKay. Countered. Whoa. Inverse Hurricane Rana from Ethan Valek. And now Valek pummeling Mad Dog Mark McKay with right hands. Man. McKay rolls out for a second. Rolls himself back in. Not the right side of town to be doing that on, with Amanda Robinson standing right there. Look at this beautiful, beautiful tilt-a-whirl. And taken down into an armbar, but the referee occupied with that stupid turnbuckle. McKay being escorted to the far corner, head first into the buckle just in time. He would have caught exposed steel. Valley yanking the arm of McKay against the rope. The Gothic grappler gets him up on the top turnbuckle. McKay says, nope, you're not doing that to me. Hard whip to Valak. McKay with a back body drop on Ethan Valak. Mad Dog Mark McKay takes himself to the top, changes his mind, and catches a beautiful kick from Ethan Valak. And again, Amanda Robinson messing with that turnbuckle. And oh man, here he goes. Oh man, right in the chest. Valak follows it up with a dropkick. Mad Dog Mark McKay certainly felt the impact of that. Ethan Valak with a couple of hard shots to the back. And he gives him the bum's rush right into the ring post. Oh man. Ethan Valak starting to really pour it on here. Draped over the bottom rope. Oh man. Guillotine leg drop from Ethan Valak. Going for the cover. 1, 2, but another near fall. Mad Dog Mark McKay getting that left shoulder up just in time. The Gothic grappler makes his way to the top turnbuckle. And here it goes. Beautiful crossbody. Here's another cover. 1, 2. Man, hook not one leg but two. He was trying to make sure. Rebound off the top rope. Moonsault fails to find Mad Dog Mark McKay, who beat it out of town a second before. McKay has him up. Tags him with a pile driver. And Valak is out. Now might be the time to go for a pin, but Mad Dog Mark McKay decides to take it to the top turnbuckle. Rallying the fans here in Tampa. But he has taken way too long for my taste. Here we go. Beautiful crossbody. He did nail it. Here's a cover. He hooks the leg. 1, 2. And yet another near fall as Ethan Valak powers out of the pin. McKay dragging the Gothic grappler near center ring. Catches the stomp to the back. The Gothic grappler about to catch some more pain. Here's another knee to the elbow. Valak counters with a jawjacker. Again, the referee fiddling around with that stupid turnbuckle. Here's a kick to the midsection from Ethan Valak. Sets him up. Oh, man, what a nasty package slam right there. Valak again going for the cover. 1, 2. And again, Mad Dog Mark McKay finding his way out of the pin. Valak is definitely frustrated. The Gothic grappler moves in on Mad Dog Mark McKay on the apron. He's rallying him to come on in. Here's a shot to the face. How about that right there? McKay takes down Valak and into the cloverleaf. Possible submission here. Valak is busted open already. The referee checking on the Gothic grappler here. McKay releasing the hold. Mad Dog Mark McKay starts to take himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle again. More high-risk stuff here. Misses with the elbow. Valak nails him with a senton. Wow. Stomp to the back. The Gothic grappler again making his way. A lot of high-risk maneuvers in this matchup so far, and a lot of momentum shifts too. Man. Back up on his feet. Valak with a beautiful arm drag. Wow, that was impressive. The Gothic grappler starts to make his way to the top turnbuckle again. Wow, this one's been wild so far. Here we go. Oh, man, the 450 splash did not connect. Mark McKay got out of the way just in time. Valak whipped to the ropes. McKay ducks under a second time. Back body drop for the Gothic grappler. McKay steps out, steps back in. Not sure what the hell that was about, but okay. Mad Dog Mark McKay, definitely with the backing of the fans here in Tampa, Florida. There's a stomp to the face of the Gothic grappler, and he's already busted open. McKay takes himself topside one more time. And here's an elbow drop that does connect. He nailed it. Valak caught all of that one. Stomp to the head. Mad Dog Mark McKay raining knuckles on the temples of the Gothic grappler as Miss Moore's ex looks on. The mystery lady Watching as Mad Dog Mark McKay pummels the Gothic Grappler with hard right hands to the head. And a falling fist drop. Ethan Valek in all kinds of pain here, and he nails him with a second one. The first wasn't good enough. He went for another one. Valek rounded up. There's a clothesline from McKay. There's a second clothesline. Valek takes a third clothesline. Winds up in the far corner. Here comes Mad Dog Mark McKay. Drops a knee into the midsection of the Gothic Grappler. And right to the throat of Ethan Valek. Oh, man.
This match has certainly been quite the ride.
It definitely has, man. Wow. Ethan Valek catching it now. Here we go. Another leg snap from Mad Dog Mark McKay. McKay looking supremely confident at the present time. Oh, here we go. Arguing with Amanda Robinson at ringside. It must be a hell of a good argument because they're still going. They usually don't last that long. McKay rounds up Valek. Locks him up. Kick to the midsection. And a hard right hand. As if to say to Amanda Robinson, yeah, shut up. Rounds her up, rounds him up, catches a jawjacker, Ethan Valek. Rebound off the middle rope, and again, look at this, there's that wheelbarrow bulldog a second time. Mad Dog Mark McKay laid out face down on the canvas. The Gothic Grappler setting it up. Oh, man. Drop kick to the side of the head. He can snap your neck that way. McKay, seated in the far corner, catches a boot to the chest. Draped over the bottom rope, and another guillotine leg drop from the Gothic Grappler. Ethan Valek has once again taken the momentum away from Mad Dog Mark McKay as he makes his way all the way topside. And here we go again. Beautiful 450 splash. Here's a cover. He hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Oh, man, that's a wrap. Ethan Valek winds up winning this one by pinfall.
The time was 10 minutes and 23 seconds. And your winner, Ethan Valek.
Wally, I can promise you this much. Wherever Johnny Bianco is in the building right now, he is angry and thinking to himself, this is what they do, Tex. This is what they do. Ethan Valek with an upset win over Mad Dog Mark McKay, but I gotta admit that 450 splash was pretty impressive. Fans, we got a whole lot more coming, and coming up next is going to be Ric Flair and the $1 Million Man, so don't you go anywhere. Into the waistlock, Russian leg sweep from the Nature Boy. Now Ric Flair stalking the $1 Million Man here. Takes him down, and here he comes. Woo! All right. The $1 Million Man in trouble here, Ric Flair. Locks in the figure 4 leg lock. No ropes to get to. When the $1 Million Man's in big trouble. He is tapping out. That is it. Ric Flair is the new $1 Million Championship, if you can believe it. Wow. Shut up.
You've got to be kidding. No way.
Your winner by submission and the new $1 Million Champion, Ric Flair.
Well, guys, we have said it before, and I will say it again. The landscape in the Legends division is changing rapidly. Nature Boy Ric Flair pulling off probably one of the best upsets we're going to see all night. He is the new $1 Million Champion for whatever that's worth. It belongs to him now, and Ted DiBiase, he's going to be having a pretty rough week.
That was 6 weeks ago, fans, and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, has been biding his time for the last 6 weeks, awaiting this rematch for his $1 Million Championship up against the Nature Boy, the dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair.
This next match is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, and it is for the $1 Million Championship.
Oh, Dandy Don, I'm telling you, I called that match as you heard, and Ted DiBiase losing the $1 Million Championship to Ric Flair, that was an M. Night Shyamalan twist right there, and here he comes now with the Women's International Champion, the Memphis Millionaires, Jody Borick. Ted DiBiase has Jody back, but now he needs his $1 Million Championship back to feel complete.
But it's a question of whether or not he's going to be able to get it back from Ric Flair, who nailed him good with that figure 4 leg lock in the initial match. This rematch will present a challenge, especially if Ric Flair decides to repeat the process.
I gotta be totally honest, I don't understand what Ric Flair sees in the $1 Million Championship, but it is his now, and apparently it goes well with his Rolex watches.
I don't know anything about Rolex watches. I've never owned one. But Ted DiBiase certainly looks out of character without the $1 Million Championship around his waist.
My instincts tell me Ted is so determined to get that belt back, he's going to try and out-dirty the dirtiest player in the game. Good luck with that project.
Well, he does have Jody Vorek at ringside, and we saw what happened recently at Snarl with Jody Vorek and Dakota Kai. She is not above a little fighting dirty.
And Jody will be appearing later tonight defending the Women's International Championship. And here he is, the Nature Boy, the dirtiest player in the game, rocking the $1 Million Championship. And I don't know, man, it just looks out of place on Ric Flair. It just does.
It is the epitome of incongruity that Ric Flair is now the $1 Million Champion. And man, Ted DiBiase is certainly keen to get it back from the Nature Boy, but can he do it?
He is going to try and get that belt back down by hook or by crook, and I'm telling you, Jody Vorek standing at ringside is definitely going to be a factor, and if she ain't, I'm going to be surprised by that.
Unironically, Ric Flair seems to have a great deal of fan support here in Tampa. Florida fans certainly remember Ric Flair from his earliest days in pro wrestling.
Absolutely, Ric Flair, a living legend here in the South.
The challenger, accompanied by Women's International Champion Jody Vorek from Omaha, Nebraska, weighing 156 pounds. He is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. His opponent, from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 136 pounds, the current $1 Million Champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Well, this is certainly going to be a pitched conflict, Tex. The $1 Million Championship on the line, 24-karat gold encrusted in diamonds. It is truly a thing of beauty, and Ted DiBiase wants it back more than anything in the world.
Boy, Don, the tension between these two so thick you need Leatherface and a chainsaw to get through it. Willie Johnson rings the bell. Here we go. Ted DiBiase with a rib breaker on the Nature Boy. Misses with the stomp. Nature Boy quickly taking him down. And right into a cloverleaf. Oh, man. Oh, he's already working the legs. I'm telling you, he's going to use that figure four.
Wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see that.
Ted DiBiase counters with a right, takes Ric Flair down to the canvas. Misses with a kick. Nature Boy with a chop. Another chop. Ted DiBiase counters. Whips Flair to the ropes. Takes him down with a shoulder. The Nature Boy being gathered up by the $1 Million Man. Ric Flair counters with an uppercut. Ted DiBiase with a clubbing overhand right on Ric Flair. And a swing ding neck breaker. Takes the Nature Boy right back down again. Ted DiBiase immediately going to work on a down Ric Flair. Telling you, oh man, he is definitely determined to get back the $1 Million Championship from the Nature Boy. Slams his head down the canvas, immediately going for a cover, but not even a one. Ric Flair powering out way too easily. Nate with an arm drag, a judo-style arm drag on the $1 Million Man, misses with the stomp. DiBiase steps out, steps back in again. Whips Nate to the corner. Here's a clothesline to the back of the head. The $1 Million Man trying to gather up Ric Flair again. A fireman's carry from the Nature Boy. And now it's Ted DiBiase down on the canvas as Ric Flair starts to go to work. Ted DiBiase with an equal fireman's carry. Wow, these guys matching each other move for move, Don.
An amazing matchup. I'm telling you, it's going to be great.
Headlock punch from the $1 Million Man. The Nature Boy catches the chop to the chest up against the ropes. Ted DiBiase choking Ric Flair with the top rope right there in front of you. And down he goes. Oh, man. The Nature Boy looking a bit winded, draped on the middle rope as Ted DiBiase starts driving a knee into the back with Ric Flair. Flair gathered up again. The $1 Million Man whips Flair to the far corner. Ric Flair quick with the counter. And a back body drop. Wow, Ric Flair, very responsive this evening. The Nature Boy, with the $1 Million Man up over the shoulder, hangs him up off the top rope. And again, Ted DiBiase down on the canvas. An elbow drop across the chest from the Nature Boy. Jody Vorek standing by watching. Oh, here we go. Nature Boy pulls off the padding on the turnbuckle. Swings and misses with a kick. Ted DiBiase whips Flair to the ropes. Ducks under. They collide. Hard right from the $1 Million Man. Ric Flair rebounded in and out of the corner, hitting the steel on that exposed turnbuckle. There's a quick takedown from Ric Flair, followed up with a stomp to the back of the $1 Million Man. Oh, here we go. Chokey. Ric Flair not playing around here. Really going to work on the $1 Million Man. Rounds up DiBiase. DiBiase quick with a counter and an uppercut. Lines him up. Russian leg sweep for the Nature Boy. The $1 Million Man. Oh, he is psyched. Looks like he might even have a chance here. Look at this. He is definitely showing out. A kick to the chest from the Nature Boy. And whoa, back body drop to the $1 Million Man. Ric Flair rounds him up, a chop, a kick. And the Nature Boy setting it up for the pile driver. Whoa, man, that was a sudden pile driver. Ted DiBiase certainly caught all of it. The $1 Million Man counters with a right to Ric Flair. Flair whip to the far corner again. There's another clothesline from the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase grabs a knee into the head of the Nature Boy. The Memphis Millionaire is Jody Vorek, watching as Ric Flair starts to take a beating from the $1 Million Man. DiBiase whips him into the far corner. Oh man, Ted DiBiase totally showing out here. Ric Flair counters, gets him in the corner. DiBiase counters. Kick to the midsection from the Nature Boy. Nate spins him around. Sets it up. Chicken wing suplex to the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase being dragged center ring by the Nature Boy. And he is setting it up. Here it comes. The driving knee right across the head of the $1 Million Man. Flair covers. 1, 2. Almost a 3. But Ted DiBiase got that left shoulder up. Ric Flair taking Willie Johnson to task for his referee counting. Nature Boy stalking the $1 Million Man, and here it goes. Woo! There it is. He's setting it up, the figure 4, and this is how he won the last match. Ted DiBiase in all kinds of trouble here. Willie Johnson. Oh, that's it. He is tapping out. I don't believe it. The Nature Boy retains the $1 Million Championship over the $1 Million Man. Wow, this was unbelievable.
The time was 6 minutes and 28 seconds. Your winner and still $1 Million champion, Ric Flair.
Tex, I can tell that beneath your mask is an expression of surprise, the same as my own, as Ric Flair retains the $1 Million Championship over the $1 Million Man, and I am just stunned speechless. I felt certain Ted DiBiase would regain the title this evening, but unfortunately it seems the Nature Boy Ric Flair had other plans.
Well, based upon what I know, Don, I think maybe Ted DiBiase's knees and legs were not ready to withstand a second or third figure 4 leg lock from the Nature Boy. You can see right here in the replay, he sure tapped out pretty quick once that got locked in good. The referee didn't even have to ask too hard.
He most certainly didn't, and Nature Boy Ric Flair retaining the $1 Million title against all possible odds.
As for us, we'll be right back with more of the RWL Snarl and Rage Memorial Day special right after this. All right, Danny Don, we are going to close out the first hour with some Legends Division competition of the very highest order. It's going to be the Man of 1,000 Masks, Mil Mascaras, set to go one-on-one against the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow, that one certainly ought to be wild, Tex.
That's what we're banking on.
This next match is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Mexico City, weighing to 121 pounds, the Man of 1,000 Masks, Mil Mascaras.
And a personal friend of yours, Tex, if I'm not mistaken.
one of the co-stars of Return of the Men from Lucha, the comedy flick that I directed. You can find that right here on YouTube, Return of the Men from Lucha. You can find it on YouTube. Mil Mascaras, all set to go one-on-one against the Ultimate Warrior, and here's one we ain't seen before.
Well, Mil Mascaras will have to rely on that aerialism and lightning-fast speed to outsmart the Ultimate Warrior.
His opponent from parts unknown, weighing 187 pounds, the Ultimate Warrior.
The former Legends World Champion until Roddy Piper came along. But the Ultimate Warrior, annoyed but undaunted, continues his quest, and every win brings him closer to another title shot. And who knows, he might get one against Mil Mascaras tonight.
That's a distinct possibility, Tex. Although, I think the Ultimate Warrior certainly has the size and strength advantage over the Man of 1,000 Masks.
Even with that, Don, it's too hard to call because both these guys are just so skilled. There's just no way to figure out which one of them's going to come up the winner.
It's a valid point, Tex. Nonetheless, this is going to be a great Legends Division match to wrap up the first hour of tonight's Memorial Day special.
Two of the biggest stars going. This is going to be a great closer for the first hour. Oh, man. Can hardly wait. Tom Kanemaru rings the bell. Here we go. Ultimate Warrior with a clothesline drops Mil Mascaras in the corner. Mil Mascaras quickly counters the Warrior back up on his feet. Locks up the Warrior, delivers a kick to the midsection that takes him down. Mil Mascaras going to work on the fallen Ultimate Warrior, stomping the hands and fingers. You can't punch if your fingers hurt. Mil Mascaras knows that. The Man of 1,000 Masks quickly making his way to the top turnbuckle here. Waiting for the Ultimate Warrior to stand himself on up. And here we go. Oh, man, beautiful Hurricane Rana with a pin yet. Look at this. One. Just a one.
Nonetheless, that was extremely impressive.
Mil Mascaras with a nice hip toss. The Warrior back on his feet. Whoa, that was beautiful. Mil Mascaras off the middle rope with a beautiful drop kick. Oh, that Lucha Libre style. Ultimate Warrior misses with the clothesline. Mil Mascaras goes behind, rear waistlock, has him up. Ultimate Warrior counters and escapes. Hard right. Locks up Mil Mascaras. Whip to the far corner. There's another clothesline. Mil Mascaras goes down. Mascaras counters quickly back up on his feet. Another clothesline and out onto the floor goes the Ultimate Warrior. And right back up on his feet too. Oh, he's mad too. Oh boy. Mil Mascaras may have just opened a can of worms. The referee trying to keep him back, but no good. Ultimate Warrior whips him to the far corner. There's another clothesline in the corner. And Ultimate Warrior seems to be using that. He's spamming the hell out of that move right there. Drives a knee of Mil Mascaras right into the canvas. Delivers a kick to the chest. Locks up Mil Mascaras. Winds it up like Popeye the Sailor. Wow, down goes Mil Mascaras. Goes behind to the rear waistlock again. All the way up, electric chair drop from the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior stomps the leg of Mil Mascaras. Turns him over, does it again. Strategically working on the limbs of Mil Mascaras as the Ultimate Warrior makes his way all the way up to the top in the far corner. And he too is waiting for Mil Mascaras to stand himself up, decides the high-risk maneuvers too high risk. There's a clothesline that stuns Mascaras. Mascaras counters with a kick to the midsection. Ultimate Warrior rolls out. Takes himself a little walk and then charges. Oh man, right into a power slam goes Mil Mascaras. The Ultimate Warrior setting Mil Mascaras up, has him up for the vertical suplex. The referee is counting. Misses with the drop kick. Mil Mascaras locks him up, and we are getting further and further away from the ring. That's never good. Okay, here's a sleeper hold for Mil Mascaras on the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior counters with a jawjacker and escapes. Tom Kanemaru still counting. Ultimate Warrior catching a couple of kicks, counters Mil Mascaras. Now both men trying to make their way back to the ring. Mil Mascaras, look at this. Whoa, man, that was a beautiful slam. Mil Mascaras rounds up the Ultimate Warrior. Takes himself back inside the ring before time runs out. Ultimate Warrior follows. Oh, we're going to play musical ropes now, huh? Okay. Mil Mascaras rounds up the Ultimate Warrior. Got him up. And deposits him head first against the lip of the apron. Misses with the stomp. Ultimate Warrior draws a knee right under the head of Mil Mascaras. Locks him up again. Mil Mascaras counters with another kick to the midsection. Mil Mascaras rounds him up. Ultimate Warrior catches a hard forearm and down he goes. And again, Tom Canamora trying to get these guys back in the ring, but they're just not paying attention. Ultimate Warrior driven into the barricade by Mil Mascaras. Head first into the barricade goes the Ultimate Warrior. Mil Mascaras has him up in that crucifix. He's stretching and, oh man, a nasty submission move, but it doesn't mean much on the outside. Ultimate Warrior delivers an elbow and an arm drag. Ultimate Warrior rounds up Mil Mascaras. Gets him back inside the ring. Ultimate Warrior taking his time about getting back in, and again, a little bit of game of musical ropes. Ultimate Warrior locks up Mil Mascaras. Has him up over the shoulders, but Mil Mascaras quick with the counter and a chop block to the knee. Takes Warrior down. Mascaras misses with the dropkick. Ultimate Warrior rolls out of the way. Up into a front cradle goes Mil Mascaras. Drop first into the turnbuckle and tossed out center ring. The Ultimate Warrior rounds up Mil Mascaras. Splits it up. There's that discus punch, and down goes Mascaras again. A kick to the head. The Ultimate Warrior catches a shot to the midsection from Mil Mascaras. Mascaras whips him to the ropes, leaps over, and catches him with a nice drop kick face first. Mil Mascaras with a neckbreaker drop on the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior gathered up to his feet again by Mascaras. Kick to the midsection and a DDT. And Mascaras going for the cover here. 1, 2. He's got an advantage. He's gone for a hell of a lot more pins than the Warrior has.
And that can make a huge difference.
Ultimate Warrior has him up, downbuster. Mil Mascaras is laid out. Ultimate Warrior rounds him up, has him over. There's the power of the Ultimate Warrior, but Mil Mascaras quick with the counter and a run. Beautiful bulldog, taking the Warrior down. Warrior counters with a kick to the head. Mil Mascaras using the ropes to get himself to a standing position. Here comes the Ultimate Warrior. Oh man, that was whoa. Mil Mascaras did a little bit of an Olay there on the Ultimate Warrior. Knee to the midsection, a chop. Ultimate Warrior got him up. Oh, gut buster. Knee right into the midsection. And again, Tom Canamora. Nothing he can do but count. Ultimate Warrior has him up. Spine buster to Mil Mascaras again. Delivers a kick to the leg. The Ultimate Warrior going 7 pounds of crazy on Mil Mascaras. Man, a series of kicks to the leg. Mascaras has got to be hurt and stands himself back up, locks up the Ultimate Warrior. Goes around on him, and look at this. There's that beautiful spinning slam again. The man of 1,000 match catches an enziguri to the hip from the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior gathers Mascaras up. Counter kick from Mil Mascaras. Mascaras rounds up the Ultimate Warrior. Tosses him back inside. And taking a moment to pause as he makes his way back inside over the top rope. Mil Mascaras gathers up the Ultimate Warrior. Standing drop kick perfectly executed by the Lucha Libre legend, who is now taking himself all the way to the top turnbuckle. Ultimate Warrior slowly making his way back to a standing position here. And boom, beautiful crossbody as only Mil Mascaras can do it. And there's the cover. 1, 2. But no, Ultimate Warrior powering out of the pin. Mil Mascaras going to have to figure out something new. Front cradle all the way up, hung up on the top rope. Down goes Mil Mascaras. The Ultimate Warrior follows that up with a stomp. Slam face first into the canvas by Mil Mascaras. A driving knee into the head from the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior trying for the bear hug, but no good. Mil Mascaras counters. Rounds up the Ultimate Warrior, but oh man, rounds up catching a back body drop instead. He might have been going for a pile driver or something. Clubbing overhand right. Ultimate Warrior drags Mil Mascaras close to center ring as he can get him. Where's he gonna go now? A stomp to the head of the man of 1,000 masks. Followed up with a second stomp to the head. And now hard right hands from the skull of Mil Mascaras. Ultimate Warrior absolutely brutal in this matchup. Mil Mascaras counters with a kick, gets up back on his feet, locks up the Ultimate Warrior, catches a knee to the midsection. A wind-up punch, boom, down goes Mil Mascaras again. Ultimate Warrior been eating his spinach. Warrior drags Mil Mascaras towards center ring again. The rebound off the rope, and there's a big splash. Rolls him over, goes for the cover. Look at this on his knees. 1, 2. I would have sworn that would have been it. Shut up. Mil Mascaras still not willing to give up the fight here. Ultimate Warrior locks him up. Look at this. Runs him towards the far corner, right into the turnbuckles. Rounds him up again, taking him around the horn to the second corner. Oh, man. Mil Mascaras definitely feeling that one. The Ultimate Warrior sets up the pile driver. Boom, nails it. Mil Mascaras definitely got to be in all kinds of pain after that. The Ultimate Warrior has him by the mask and picks him up and tosses him right back down again. Ultimate Warrior sets it up. Does it a second time. Ultimate Warrior makes his way all the way up to the top turnbuckle from the far corner, and boom, there's that beautiful crossbody smash with the pin. 1, 2, 3, and you can wrap this one up and take it on home. The Ultimate Warrior wins by pinfall over Mil Mascaras.
The time was 10 minutes and 45 seconds, and your winner, the Ultimate Warrior.
Now that was a solid Legends Division match. Wow. Mil Mascaras gave it his all, most certainly, no question about it. He always does. And, well, like I said, Mil Mascaras is a buddy of mine, but the Ultimate Warrior, just too strong, just too fast. There's just no way that Mil Mascaras could keep up. Unfortunately, the Ultimate Warrior winds up picking up the win over Mil Mascaras in this one, closing out the first hour of tonight's RWL Snarl and Rage Memorial Day Special.
Fans, that brings to a close the first hour of tonight's Memorial Day Special. Please stay tuned. Hour 2 is just a moment or two away.